Welcome, A Train, all aboard, tourism fans, to A Train, all aboard, tourism with Omnius Prime, episode 10, Subsidiaries and Subsidies Galore. It's prime time for Professor Prime. So here it is, 10 minutes until I have to pay my taxes, and I owe about 57,800,000,000. So I actually have the money saved up, don't have to borrow any additional. Wanted to kind of just get started on this episode and year. I started the year with 59 subsidiaries. I've sold a few, but I've also been constructing a whole bunch. Now, uh, as you can see, what I've got are a bunch of these department store twos over here. I've given them names, all of them Macy's, of course. Um, I decided since they have 34 employees each, I want to keep them. So I keep those. Now I've just got these, like, the hardware stores, botanical garden, things like that that I've been doing from the subsidies and stuff. But these mid-rise building sixes, I've also been going through and building up the areas where I used to have empty areas. See, like here, the Fisherman's Wharf, there's an apartment for, there's a department store too. Okay, the Fisherman's Wharf Macy's. And then these mid-rise building sixes now are my new kind of favorites. They take about 5 employees, but I don't mind selling them because I can make some money on them. And of course, the apartment fours. And I went on a kind of an apartment four building binge, in that everywhere that I used to have empty space, I've now kind of gotten them filled in. Now I probably still have a few places like here in Pacific Grove that I don't know if I'll put in an apartment four or if I'll put in one of the mid-rise sixes. So I'm going to kind of be playing it by ear, but I'm just slowly but surely kind of filling all this stuff in. Pebble Beach, I'll probably need to put in a department store two and stuff in here, because it's got the golf course right there. So I'll probably put in another department store right here for Pebble Beach. That is, of course, when I can build them, because constructing new buildings is not easy. See? So basically what I've been doing is I've been having to run the clock slowly, and then around 11 o'clock in the morning is usually when something gets built, and then I have a chance to build something myself. So and then I've been just going in around to some areas like right here where I don't have maybe some land reserved, and I'm just building stuff, so that I'm kind of like right here, where I just need to start building things next to my stations, the apartment fours, so that I have butts in seats. So I'll probably need to put something in here and stuff. But I just been going through and just kind of, not worrying about subsidies and stuff, but just let's get things sold. And come back here. So let's just take a look at my subsidiaries again. So like some of these are. So I've just been going crazy because this is going to be the year of the subsidiary. And as you can see, I've got tons of apartment fours. I started the year with, or ended last year with 565,000. And right now my population's at 569. So I'm finally, just after 5 years, getting above the original 568K that the scenario starts with on the population. My economy level has gone up now to a little over 4 trillion. So that's looking really good. My government policies, right now I've got four of them that I've taken advantage of. On June 15th, I'll be getting 5.3 billion in subsidies from these here. I've got two that elevated train line construction that I'll never use, or elevated road. Yeah, right. So what I'll be waiting for is getting a whole bunch of new subsidies in to take advantage of. And like I said, right now I'm kind of playing a lot of build and flip, depending on the subsidies and situation, seeing what I can do. And let's just go ahead. Oh, yeah, let's take a quick look here at my income statement. And can see that I'm already making gains, making money. There's that 12.7 billion in subsidy revenue, and there's fixed asset sales of 10.4 billion. And there were a couple of places where I lost a little bit on some of those botanical gardens, and I just did a quick fire sale to get rid of them. And I imagine my railroad sales are going to go up nice because of the stations. And let's come back here. I got 5,739 employees. I got about 4,800 jobs, something like that. So I'm way behind. Still have that AAA credit rating. And I got, what, 473 billion in capitalization, and I still am under that with 403 billion in loans. Of course, 450 something. As soon as I get the um, taxes paid, then it'll look a lot better. So, and let's just take a quick look at the bank, and I got 7.5% on the interest, down to 386 billion on my loan limit. So I have to be very careful about how I pay my loan back and how much loan I take out. But right now, what I'm going to do is as I'm making money, I will improve that loan limit. So let's just go ahead and, as you can see, the 57 billion is paid, and I still have 3 billion left. Now, let's just see. Oh yeah, trade. Trade stinks right now as far as the materials go. Really stinks. I could sell overseas, but the overseas price is the quantity. I could never deliver the 660 in time, so I had to pass up on the material sale. So right now I'm not selling any materials anywhere. Still doing some agriculture north and south, and Oakland is taking up the fishy sales. So I'm just hoping that trade will rebound after a while and help me just keep making more money. And what I'll be doing is, as you can see, I have 4,789 staff required, and I got 5,739, so I've got way a whole bunch extra. The public offering, I don't think I want to do that this year. I've got to kind of pull back. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and pay, what's that, 12, 16, 5, 18, almost 19 billion in employee benefits, even though chances are my employee satisfaction is maxed out at overflowing with energy, and I could probably get away with not paying them and still they'd be overflowing with energy. Um, I'm at 4 solid gold stars for brand power, so I'm going to be running another commercial soon. As soon as I scratch up 5 billion, and see about getting the brand power going a little better for all the stations that I've been creating. And yeah, I've been improving some stations as well. So I think I'll be back July 1st to play the
Here it
dividend
is.
game. 8:51 a.m. on July 1st, and it's time to play the dividend game. Now, I finally got some material trade working again after a long while. So now I got all my trade running, although not at very highly profitable pricing like when I first started out. I have 73 um, subsidiaries here. I just keep adding on and, of course, selling a few. But as you can see, I've got quite a few up for sale. A lot of apartment fours. And then I've been building some zoos and movie theaters, because of the subsidies. So let's take a quick look. I've got almost 6.3 billion coming in at the middle of July. I took care of quite a few little subsidy offers. There's one more here, Salinas City, 3 recreational buildings, construction price subsidized by 20% or more. I'll probably use the movie theater too for that. So let's just take a quick look at the income statement. And while we still have a 6 billion operating loss, we have a net profit of before taxes 23.7 billion, owing 9 billion in taxes already. So let's just go ahead and play the dividend game. Okay, so now I'm at 2%. Okay, it'll cost me 8.9, almost 9 billion to do 35 cents per share, 35 Japanese yen per share. But I'm going to up it to 40, which will give me a cost of about 10.2 billion and a dividend yield of 2.2%, which isn't bad. Now, let's just take a quick look at the stock market. Okay, let's so as you can see, the stocks kind of go up and down. So let's just take a look. I'm paying what, 40 Japanese yen? So they're paying 3 Japanese yen, none, 42 Japanese yen. So there's somebody that's a little better than me. 26, 10. So as you can see, 5, 31. Some companies pay a bunch, some pay very little. So as you can see, boy, the bank stock's taking a big nosedive. So I am not going to do the IPO, the public offering. I mean, I could get a lot of money. But right now, it would also mean that I would have to pay a lot more in dividends next year. And right now, I don't have any big building projects. So right now, through the end of the year, I need to pay 12, 16.5, about 18.8 billion just in employee benefits. Oh, wow, we're only working well right now. Well, I'm going to have to boost that back up so that they're overflowing with energy. So I may end up doing something to boost. Ooh, look at that. I got 189 million in dividends. And of course, I'm paying out over 10 billion. So I probably won't be back until March 31st because I'm just going to basically play the subsidy and subsidiary game. Although, oh man, it's very slow. I have to run clock very slowly and then stop at like 11 o'clock to see if something will build so that I can then turn around and build something myself. See, like right there. There is an apartment 2 constructed right around. So if I take a quick look at, well, my favorite is the old apartment 4. So as you can see, I can't build anything right yet. So it's very iffy as far as being able to build stuff. Here it is, March 31st of fiscal year 6, Heisei year 19, and it's 8:50 in the morning. 10 minutes, got to pay the banker. A whole bunch of money that I don't have right now. So, but that's not a problem. Okay. Let's first of all take a quick look. Since this year has been a year of subsidiaries and subsidies, um, right now I have 89. Wow. But soon to be 88. Now, I've just decided that I don't want this one around. I can go ahead and pick up, it's just not selling. So I've decided to just quick sell it, take a 489 million yen loss. Okay, that's going to save me almost 200 million yen in taxes. So this is kind of like, year-end tax planning. So now what that's going to do is it's going to now, I have 88. Subsidiaries now. I've gone to, ooh, this one doesn't look like it's doing as good anymore. I might have to go ahead and sell it because it's not at, it's only at 80%. Uh, I've been kind of saving some of these buildings not to sell um, because I want to keep employees, jobs and stuff. Now, what's happened here is I built a couple of, I had what is a construction subsidy in Monterey. So I could build for commercial buildings these high-rise building 8s. Remember early on in one of the early videos, I was talking about how I had reserved a 4-tile square near train stations. So what I did was built some of these high-rise building 8s in Monterey near train stations, see, like right there. And then in Carmel, some of these high-rise apartments. Okay. And I think I also then built some of these commercial buildings here near the race course and near the Carmel Rancho with the shopping and stuff, and then the big auditorium. So, yeah, my apartment 7s, that's for land subsidies for residential. I love the hardware stores for the cheap land subsidies. I love these mid-rise building 6s for construction subsidies. And I love building them near train stations. So as you can see, got plenty of those. Zoos, recreation for land subsidy. Just love them. And of course, apartment 4s for construction subsidy, and sometimes just no subsidy at all. So as you can see, I went through and I've got a whole bunch of subsidies filled out. I still have a little bit of blank land near some of my stations that I want to build something in. Okay, so since this was a year of subsidies and subsidiaries, Let's take a quick look and see what I did for March Madness. Population is of 593,000, and the year ago was at 565, so I gained about 28. Yeah, about 28,000, and my economy is at 4.27 trillion. So let's take a look. Now, as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of these subsidies for March used up, totaling 16.72 billion in money. Um, so I really jacked it up. My tourists, for some strange odd reason, now Reiko isn't whining at me. Okay. Tourists during the previous fiscal year shows 3.5 million. The whole town shows 3. Oh wow! Look at that. Yeah, 3,992,000. So I'm going to hit 4 million, I think. So yeah, it's looking good. My city's building up. Let's take a look at the money, honey. And there's the Makoto. He's all happy. So it was at 109, 101 million as far as the corporate and other taxes go. So I saved the 200 million there. Okay. My subsidy revenue this year, 63 billion. Okay. Really jacked up the subsidy revenue. Okay. Now the other thing, why was I increasing stations and stuff? Let's take a look at railroad sales. This year, whoops, last year, okay? So 285 last year, 435 this year, 150 billion increase. Now I didn't build any additional stations and track and stuff. Okay, this was all because in year 5 I started jacking up the station buildings, like that one right there. So it's made like 2.753 billion. Woo! So I mean, you can see how it's really cranking out the money now because it's got the visitors. And slowly but surely, I'm just going through the stations and stuff, and I will upgrade all of them to either the station building one, the big station, or probably like that ground level 8 station that's kind of like the top of the line of the cheapy ground level stations. So let us go ahead and work the magic on the loan. So what I want to borrow is 500 billion. Decided I'd up my borrowing a little bit. The year is this is the second year of economic slump, so it's not getting worse. It's not getting better. Of course, this is the expert level, so you kind of end up having to go through some early years, bad years, before you get to some good years. But that's okay because 7.5% is a great interest rate. So, boom, borrowed the money, pay back the loan. And that was like another 30 billion in interest paid. And now, when we take a look, we can see that corporate taxes dropped down to 97 billion. So I saved about just a little over 12 billion with those two tricks, paying the interest. Okay, see there's your 30 billion, 82 million. Now, my profits on fixed asset sales, 42 billion. Now, I did take 22, almost 22 billion in extraordinary loss because each time when I, buy something new or whatever, and I basically have to buy up and demolish buildings to lay track, or in this case, to build new subsidiaries. That's what that extraordinary loss is. I did take a little bit of miscellaneous losses on killing some trade deals just to get them off the books, so to say. Now, my trade looks kind of sucky right now. I have no material trade down south, which is really bad. My agriculture sales up north aren't very good. Since I'm already shipping materials overseas, I can't um, um, sell vegetables overseas. The other thing is I could sell locally, but the price differential isn't that good. So what I'm going to do is just since it's still reduced in production, I'm just going to kind of let production run right now. Now, let's go ahead. I think I've got everything ready to just go ahead and run the clock. Now, the employee morale. Oh, yeah, that's what I forgot to show. I have 5625 in employees. I lost about 94 during in March. So in March you always lose some employees, and then in April you gain a whole bunch. Now I'm down about 535 employees, but I'll probably gain a good 2,000 in a couple of weeks. And if you notice, what I did was, okay. See, there's my brand power. Um, Right here, I'm at 4.5 stars. What I found is that there seems to be like three different colors of these stars. There's a like a dark bronze, there's a light bronze, which is what this color is now, and then there's a gold color, okay, like these other 4 stars. So we'll see that that trips over at the end of the year and improves. So I basically ran TV commercials to basically up the star level from. There we go. Look at that. Annual number of tourists has reached 4 million. Wow. And now they're kind of like being transported really nice. So somehow things kind of leveled out in that respect over time. So here we go. Clocks are just running away, and yeah, when I do March Madness, I have to run clock like this, and then when I hear the ding ding dings, then I gotta real quick stop the clock so that I can then do things and try to build something. So Makoto's all happy. I mean, you can look at that income graph. Okay, I've touched just about 800 billion in sales, and the year before it was just under 600 billion. So there was a very significant increase. And of course, you can look at those net earnings, 250 billion. Uh, Last year it was 112 billion. So I mean, I just jacked it up when it came to profitability this year. And surplus 6 out of 6 years. So we're on track for 10 out of 10. So now what I'm going to do is continue building, like right here. What I did is I built, where are they? There it is. A resort hotel and then a department store 3. Okay. There was a steel mill, a steel factory right here. So, and of course, that just screws up land value. So it was a nice way that I could use the subsidy for construction cost and build some expensive buildings here that are now just going to feed my Carmel Sunset Center, which is the exhibition hall. So I'll be continuing on with the subsidiaries and subsidies plan this year. I have been looking at the possibility of doing subways. And now, what do I have here? I could do a public offering, get 103 billion. But right now I'm going to wait because like I told you before, if I do the public offering now, I get it like May 1st. July 1st, I'm paying dividends, 40 yen per share, if I'm not mistaken. So Better to just wait, and then this way, instead of 2 months of money before paying dividends, I'll have 11 months of money before paying dividends. That's the smart way to do it. So I'll be back probably May 31st to see how I'm doing progressing this year and what I'm going to be doing with. Oh, yeah, hold on. Balance sheet. Need to see how much we're going to pay. Right now, I got 97 and 17. That's going to be 114.7, almost 114.8 billion yen that I have to pay in taxes. Now, when I look at debt to equity ratio, of course, right now with the current liabilities, I'm a little over 600 billion yen in liabilities, and I'm only at 573, 574 in capital, which would mean debt ratio that's a little over 1 to 1, debt to equity. But as soon as I pay off the current liabilities, the taxes, then I'll be down to like about 505 to 511 billion versus the 574, and will be less than 1 to 1 debt to equity ratio. Here it is, May 31st, 8:50 a.m. 10 minutes until I have to pay the taxes. Now, I have been rather busy. In April, what I did is I built over 40 subsidiaries. So I went from like a count of 88 to 126. I have 118 now because I've sold some. But I figured that I must have sold, I also sold some before I counted the 126. So I know that I built over 40 subsidiaries. And just all kinds of them. But mainly the ones that I like the most. And what I was doing is building them around my stations where I had land already set aside. So what I wanted to do was start to take advantage of all that quote unquote free land, the pre-bought land, start building the buildings on apartment fours, the mid-rise six, department store twos, and have some stuff to build and flip. So I spent over 50 billion in April and building all those subsidiaries, and then did nothing in May, and picked up a good 50 some billion from selling some and then doing the trade and all that good stuff. Now, speaking of trade, um, as we can see, right now I have everybody delivering stuff, Los Gatos. Now, as you can see, down south, I don't have any agriculture trade abilities, and here it is, summer coming up, right? So I came up with a slick little solution for that. This distribution center that's right here just happens to be rather close. Okay, there's the Turlock turkey. So my trucks are right here, and the depot's over here. Okay, and then I'll build a truck stop over here with an agriculture warehouse probably right there. And then what I can do is, if I don't have any trade down south for my turkeys, I'm just going to send them up to this distribution center, and I can sell 20 at a day. I have another place right here where I need to build, probably going to build a department store too, maybe, just because it's there's some tourism and stuff in here. So yeah, I found a little spot that I didn't quite see in my first go around. So I'll have to build something there at Yosemite. So yeah, now what I'm going to have is the ability to just use these trucks, repurpose them over here if I don't have any southern agriculture sales. Having a little bit of fun. Then what I got to do is wait for the some subsidies to come up and stuff. So let's just go ahead and get taxes paid. So that was over 114 billion, but I still have 58 billion left to play with. And I've also been thinking about this area here, the Salinas, is maybe expanding my train stations and trains to 7 length from 5. And yeah, just kind of, increasing capacity and stuff and seeing how that works out since I'm kind of really increasing population and stuff. So I'll be back on July 1st, and I'll play the dividend game. Here it is, July 1st, 8:50 a.m. It's almost time to play the dividend game. But it certainly looks like I've been playing another game here. I decided that what I wanted to do was take advantage of a couple of government policies. So here I have I had one where I could do the 2 or more recreational buildings, 70% land subsidy, and then I had 2 or more commercial buildings, 70% land subsidy. So got 6.6 billion for the recreational buildings, got 3.851 for the billion for the commercial buildings. So what I ended up doing was building a baseball stadium because it cost about 10 billion and there was about 5 billion in land cost. So that was a pretty good ratio for cost benefit analysis. I also built a Monterey Colton Hall over here. Okay, another exhibition hall. And then I building this shopping center, the big shopping center, right here next to the ballpark. And then this is a department store 4 that I decided to build next to the exhibition hall. So what I'm trying to do is kind of build up the areas here. Okay. And one thing I did is before that I built a materials factory here. So that what I'm going to be able to do is use a truck from here to run materials over to here. Now this is only producing 3.3 per day, which is wimpy. So what I've decided to do is I used one of the seaside lettuce trucks over here for the seaside materials. And then I repurposed one of the lettuce trucks. So what it's doing is it's hauling materials to the Seaside Materials 1 area here. And this way I can keep up a fairly constant flow. Now it only runs twice a day, so it moves 4, and I get 3.3 here. So that'll be about 7 to 8 materials per day that I can move into this area. And this area over here is just going to take time. I decided, I kind of remember when I played PC Classic, how it was always, build material factories. So I've got one building right here, okay? I'm going to build an exhibition hall here. I'm going to build like a big tower 2 here. I'm going to build a rail station here and then extend out this rail line here from the Lakers out to over here, and have a rail station here that will then service this area. And those two monuments, plus the Fort Ord Hunter Liggett line, okay, will be kind of close enough to the big tower too here. So I'm planning to do some big development here. Um, I got 7,500 employees right now. I need over 8,000. Uh, so I decided that kind of like one of those sales slogans, everything must go. So basically, except for the Carmel and Monterey Wheel tours, I'm now starting to sell things. Um, I'm waiting on this one here to see if it'll get a better price, but I may just go ahead and quick sell it because it's not really performing. And I don't really expect it to. But now I'm just starting to put in all these buildings that I hadn't put on sale, up for sale, like all the cinemas and stuff like that, the department store twos that I named Macy's. Um, so yeah, I've got just a ton of stuff that I put up for sale. And now I'm not worried so much about the employee count if they sell. So now what I'm going to do is while I wait for this material factory to complete so that when I start the two big projects, I'll have materials that I'll just be able to place a little warehouse like right there. I won't have to use a truck to even move the materials. You know, I really, now when I think about when I did the airport and the bullet train, I could have built a little factory here and then just run the materials over, you know, to this area. So yeah, this kind of like, you know, starting to rethink how I used to play PC Classic, where you had to move materials around. So let's just hold on a second here, get back there. Let's go ahead and run the clock. And how am I going to play the dividend game this time? Okie doke. So I'm at 40 Japanese yen per share, 1.8 in yield. So I'm going to go to 45, raising another nickel, and go to 2.1 dividend yield. Now, what I'm going to do, my stock is on an upward trend, so I think what I'm going to do now is, since I have just increased my dividend, I'm going to wait a little bit, maybe a week or so, and then I'm going to have a little fun with oh yeah, the public offering right there. So right now it says I might get about 108 billion because now the public offering price is 2007. So if I wait about a week, it should go up a little bit. Then I'll do the public offering, and then that way I'll have almost 11 months of money before I have to pay dividends. It's August 22nd, and it's 4:40 p.m. I just built some buildings and wanted to do a quick check-in. I have been spending a ton of money, and I now have 173 subsidiaries. I can only build 7 more. But I went wild with building some expensive buildings and stuff. What I did is I built a new station right here, this Fort Ord Stillwell Hall East. This used to be Fort Ord Giggling, and then I decided that, and this was Stillwell Hall up here, so I decided I'd switch the names around so that I could do Stillwell Hall, and then I could have this Stillwell Hall Exhibition Center and a Stillwell Field. Joseph Stillwell was a general in the U.S. Army during World War II, served in Burma and China, I think, and also served at Fort Ord. And that's why he is being honored. Now, Stillwell Hall, there was an actual Stillwell Hall. It was the enlisted men's drinking club, and it was situated basically right on a cliff of a sand dune overlooking the ocean near the rifle ranges, which were also on the ocean. Um, and unfortunately, the hall's built on basically a sand dune, and over the years, beach erosion caused the sand dune to erode away, and they finally had to just abandon Stillwell Hall and then kind of like dismantle it before it fell into the sea. So I went really wild with the subsidies, so I decided I wanted to take a quick look. I've got almost 604,000. My economy level is almost at 4.4 trillion. So now I've got 41.423 billion coming the 15th of September. As you can see, I've gone through a ton of subsidies. My favorite's the Bell Steady that I finished up just before, and I got 13 billion in one fell swoop. 3 recreational buildings, and I think the land value was 70%. So what I did was built an athletic field. Okay, I come down here, so I built a athletic field here, and that was like about over 10 billion right there. Uh, so as you can see, I just been going wild with the subsidies, building all kinds of expensive buildings all over the place. Oh yeah, that's going to be a nice big tower too right there. And the Koku Gikan, it's a wrestling center. And then what did I do? Oh yes, and then another mall. Okay. So I just, that was obviously a commercial building a land subsidy. So I went really wild with the subsidies. And right now I've got 27, and then when I have the 41, that'll be like 68. And the year before, I think I did about 63 billion in subsidies. Uh, Profit on fixed asset sales, 93.5 billion. My extraordinary loss is only around 9 billion, so I'm popping over 80 billion in fixed asset sales. Uh, I might hit a trillion in the income graph this year. So I just decided, yeah. Oh, and then I built another rail station right here at Paso Robles. And I just figured, this could use a rail station right here. And it's kind of like next to Fort Hunter Liggett. So, you've got the synergy between 2 rail stations and stuff. So I'm just, kind of like developing the area. Now, once again, I built a material factory here, and I've got it feeding this storehouse right here, which is very close to the Stillwell Hall. Now, let's come up here. We take a look at the baseball field. Looks like it's going to be ready tomorrow. Wow. So by doing the hauling some materials up to here from over here, even though this is only pooping out 2.5 per day, I've got a truck coming from Seaside material. Oh wow, man, I really am running down the materials there. But I'm expediting the construction there. As soon as the construction is gone, then what I'll do is I'll get rid of the material factory once I get all of this stuff built up. So I have a mall, and then I decided to put the mall annex in right next door. So I'm just, pumping out a lot of expensive buildings. and hopefully I'll profit from them. So I'll probably be back on March 31st. Just run through the rest of the year because I'm pretty much maxed out on building. Now I got to build up some cash. 31st of fiscal year 7, 8:50 a.m. And does our banker know where his money is? Well, let's find out. Right now, I got to do some paying back. So I got to pay back this loan and borrow some money. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow 800 billion. So let's go ahead and set up 800 billion. So I'm going to borrow about 300 billion more than last year. And since the year is another year of economic slump, okay, so let me get rid of that. Now I'm going to be paying about 37.5 billion in interest, which is going to save me about 15 billion in taxes. So now that's done, and we got total assets have reached 2 trillion Japanese yen. Woo! So let's take a quick look here, and the income statement. Makoto is happy, of course. So we're at 443 billion in net earnings before taxes. Gonna owe 172 billion. I've got 464 billion. So that'll leave me what about almost 290 billion yen to go into the year and start having some fun with stuff. Okay. 68 billion in subsidy revenue this year, which was pretty good. 267 billion in fixed asset profits, minus 20 in losses. So wow. So looking good, looking good. Now, this 22 billion is going to disappear right here. The research development expenses. Man, I'm up to 677 billion in land. Woo. Lots and lots of land. So, now what's going to happen is let's just go ahead and before I start running clock, let's go here, take a quick look. I've got a couple of buildings here that I'm probably going to sell. I put these kind of bad performers up here up top. These are some of my big ones. Here you can see I've got like the tower building, the mall, the Kokugikan, some high-rise apartment floors, a science museum, Kabuki Theater, aquarium, more science museums, and department store floors. And right here I've got some kind of losers that I may or may not sell. And then just all kinds of different, mainly apartment fours and mid-rise sixes. And depends on if I'm building for like land value. Like I decided to build a couple of golf courses in Bell since they disappeared from Monterey and Carmel. And once again, this was 70% land value, so a nice big golf course looks really good to me as far as an investment goes. So let's go and let's take a quick look at trade. As you can see, my Oakland materials are just about ready to be reset. Luckily, I have another material sale that I can go with. I'm shipping fish overseas, and I'm not shipping to San Francisco at this point, but I'm sure I will again. So let's go ahead and let's just start running some clock. Oh yeah. I sold the baseball field, so that's nice. And you can see that I've been building up around here. Okay, so hold on. Let's just go ahead and do my trade continuation. Oakland Materials, confirm. So now I'm set on my trade. There. So I'm just, slowly but surely, I built up this area here, which helped to sell that building. And now, over here, I've got all of this basically built up. Built this athletic field and then the auditorium, putting in things like a big hotel, a big shopping center, and stuff. And now we're just waiting for the stroke of midnight. Now, actually, what I was going to do for the year end is I intend to sell these buildings. I'm just going to cancel the sale. I'm just going to go ahead and quick sell. This will give me some buildings. I'll take the 1.8 billion in fixed asset loss. I'm still going to get about 900 million. Cancel the sale, sell, quick sell, another almost, so 1.9 billion in loss. So basically what I'm doing here is just going ahead and canceling some of these sales. Now the 1.77 billion, and then this one won't be such a bad loss. Okay. So that was probably well over 4 billion in losses. So it's probably going to knock my tax down a little bit. Probably about another 2.5 billion. So now we're down to about 170 billion instead of 172 billion in taxable losses. And now what we're going to do is hit the end of the year. So now we've got the 170.5 billion in taxes that we have to pay. Now, you can see that I went over $1 trillion in income. So you can see the income trend graph changed scale. So now it's measuring in trillions. Let's take a real quick look. Okay, we've got surplus 7 years in a row and 3 more years until the deadline. Yes, we are hitting our targets because we're 7 out of 7 in profit. And if we come back here real quick and take a quick look at the balance sheet, we're going to find out that we owe 170.5, so 25 billion more, 195, 196. So 196 out of that. So I'll have almost 270 billion to play with. And now what I'm going to be doing is building up a whole bunch more. Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to do, was look at the my March Madness. So I built a whole bunch of stuff. I've got 41.898 billion coming in April 15th. So I did a whole bunch of subsidies. I was kind of looking at these subway train line subsidies, but I decided, yeah, I just don't think I want to mess with subways in this one. So I'm now through year 7. I think my next video I'll go through years 8 and 9. So hopefully you'll be back for the next one and you're enjoying the series. Thanks for watching.